Hello, everybody. We are here on the DAG Show, and we are apparently I'm having once again, a little audio issue. The show is starting here. Dr. Felicity is in the house.
It's almost time.
There
it's
we
almost
go.
time. Get your DAG hats on.
Say hello, Dr. Felicity. Hold on. Wait. Turn your mic on. There you are. There you are.
It's been too long. I didn't remember to turn my mic on.
Well, we're going to play a song here. Di is going to be on the show with us tonight. And, we have a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about the N-word. We're going to talk about transgenderism. He, she, it, they, thou, pronouns, bullshit. We're going to have some fun. And then, as usual, on the show with Dr. Felicity, this wonderful and beautiful woman, we're going to get to why I'm mental. and maybe we might find out why. So let me go ahead and let's play a song, and we'll be right back here on the DAG Show.
I don't have time for this.
Oh, you don't have time for this, huh? Really? Where are you going? What are you doing? Come on, what are you doing? Really? Where are you going? Come on, where are you going? Lay it out. Let's talk about life. Breathe in.
You're listening to DAG. It's the DAG Show, featuring DAG and some other people.
Holy cow, we are here on the DAG Show on a Thursday night.
And I'm back.
And Dr. Felicity is here, and we are in the Leopard Lounge that Di and I built.
First time in the Leopard Lounge. Got
Yes.
my own cushy chair. I'm feeling the love.
It's the lounge that DAG and Di built.
Yeah.
And we're really happy to see you here. I'm glad you're here with us. And tonight should be a fun show. We have some things to talk about. We're going to talk about the N-word, and we can do that because Felicity's black. So it's all cool.
Although last time we talked about it, you revealed that it is said behind the black people's back, and we did not know. So that's already out there.
It's said all the time. The same way, I have black friends that use cracker all the time and all these other terms. But we need to demystify the N-word. It needs to go away. Morgan Freeman said it best. If we just stop talking about racism, racism will go away, and he's absolutely right. At least to a large degree, maybe not entirely.
It did for a number of years. I didn't grow up with all this crap that's happening right now, and they reintroduced it by talking about it. First black president. Oh, if you don't like him, you're racist. And it just started right there. That's when it started back, into society. And I was like, where's this coming from? So I already knew something sinister was afoot.
Well, so, you and I have talked numerous times about the N-word. And so I want some of your insight and opinion on the N-word. I really like to hear what you think about, one person or one group of people being able to take, a word and define it for themselves and leave the rest of us out of it.
Well, yeah, we did talk about this a little bit before, actually. I don't think that that's the right approach. I also think that I read a book about just even the history of the term black. And even though it seems like it's so much better than nigger or negro, it actually, all of those terms mean darkness. And the real problem is you've never seen an actual black person. So it's inaccurate as well. But all of these terms are meant to have us feel down about ourselves. And I think that people think they're empowering themselves by embracing the negativity, but it doesn't really happen that way. Like, the people that really use that are not empowered. They're not empowering themselves. They're tearing each other down. And I think we see that in the devaluation of life in the inner cities and the willingness to kill basically your brother. You know what I mean? Everyone's so upset about racism, but they don't care about the people killing themselves on the street. So there's nothing empowering that's happening by embracing the term.
So when you're talking about, okay, so let me step back here. So people killing themselves on the streets, we're obviously referring to the inner city, black neighborhoods where, this is just going on and on and on.
So much at a so much higher percentage than any police brutality. It's not even close. And in Chicago, they don't hardly report it anymore. It's so common. It's ridiculous.
Isn't that absolutely, it's just horribly a shame. 19 unarmed black men in, I think it was it 2019? 2019 were killed by police. Somehow, it's almost like the COVID thing where they say, if you look at and I'm using this, folks, as an analogy. So just work with me here. From mid-October to 2019 to mid-February of 2020, there were over 400,000 hospitalizations for people with influenza. From mid-October 2020 to mid-October, mid-February in 2021, there were 165 hospitalizations related to the influenza. So it's very easy to manipulate the numbers and to mind screw everybody that's paying attention to any of this.
Right.
That being said, we see this happen all the time in the black community. Now, it is true and it is factual, whether you guys like hearing what I have to say or not, that there's a higher rate of crime in those neighborhoods and amongst that group of people, which I'm sorry, it's black people, minorities.
Exactly. And there's a reason.
But they only make up 13% of the population, and they consume, what 68% of or whatever minorities, blacks and Hispanics, of the prison population. So when such a small percentage of the overall population of a nation absorbs and represents the largest segment of criminality, what is it that people are going to think? So stereotypes get built, and stereotypes are built on some form of reality. Okay, like white men can't dance. Listen, we're shitty dancers.
Right.
Compared to Michael Jackson, to black, I don't know how you black people got such good rhythm. I mean, it's just fantastic how you guys can really move.
Like you said, they're based on some form of reality.
Sure.
I've certainly found that teaching English around the world. Like, I'm like, oh, wow. Like, some of the stuff we say about you guys, I mean, it's not baseless, right? It's
not.
like, okay. But from my angle, the real thing that bothers me is that a victim mentality keeps you from looking at your own issues. We cannot solve black on black crime in our communities. So let's just blame you. You know what I mean? So then I don't have to do anything because I don't know how to fix you. You're just messed up. You're just racist because you're white. The institutions are racist. But basically, we don't have to solve what's going on in our own family, in our own communities, because we don't know how, and we're just going to blame you. So there you go.
So now listen, you're very active in the political community amongst all races. I mean, I know you're not a racist of any kind, but let's just say that you get challenged by inner city black folks or whatever, and I'm sure that happens. I'm sure it probably happens within your family. What's your next move? I mean, how do you respond to that?
Well, I do get flack for talking about this. This is the reason people don't like Candace Owens as well, because she puts so much on personal responsibility and then on our own community's responsibility in fixing ourselves. The line of reasoning that I get attacked with is basically that we're supposed to stick together. And they get angry for me not sticking with, keeping the family secret, whatever. We're not supposed to talk about.
What do you mean by that, keeping the family secret?
I just mean that we are not supposed to, in mixed company, talk about the fact that we have problems that we can't solve. So we're just going to blame you.
The black community?
Yeah, that the black community is not solving its own problems, so we're blaming you. I'm not supposed to say that to you. Like, we could talk about it amongst ourselves, but I'm not supposed to say it with a white person there. I'm supposed to I'm supposed to defend all, it's like believe all women, So it's like believe all black people. And I'm just supposed to hold that line because you already see me as lesser, so I shouldn't say stuff like that. And I just don't believe any of it. So honestly, if you really want to know my response, I don't respond in those kinds of situations because there can be no meeting of the mind when somebody already believes they are right. So
right.
I approach situations as a leader. Because I know that I know what I'm talking about. The reason I know that I know what I'm talking about is if I'm talking to a liberal, and I may have said this before, but I can tell my point, and then I could run to your side of the table and say what you're about to say. And then I could come back and respond. And then I could go back and say what you're going to say. See, so for me, the conversation is unnecessary. The person on the other side of the table doesn't know what I'm about to say. And if they have an attitude problem, I'm not going to tell them because they can't hear me. So I'm just like, I'll wait, because everything that they believe doesn't work. It doesn't work to blame your life on other people. It doesn't work to sit around and wait for your life to improve for reparations. It doesn't work to wait like, oh, I can't have a good life till I get my reparations. What is that kind of philosophy? That's ridiculousness.
Well, let me ask you this. Okay, so you brought up the reparations thing. Clearly, you're not for reparations.
I am not.
And why not? Why wouldn't you be, as a black woman, supporting reparations? My audience would like to know. But here, real quick, we've got a couple of first-time viewers. John.
Hi, John.
John Clevo. Rob Woodell is here. What is Dr. Joy a doctor of?
I am a doctor. My PhD is in Christian counseling.
Christian counseling. So she's basically a counselor, like a therapist, right?
Correct.
All right. Dwayne, thanks for joining us. Andrew, one of my favorite people in the world. Thomas Merritt is here. Yes. So let's keep the ball rolling here. Oh, so go ahead and answer my question.
So, I haven't done a whole ton of study about reparations. It's just I don't like the idea in general. I do believe that it is unsustainable. Like, I don't think that it's something that we actually can sustain as a country to pay for that. I also think that there's no way to distribute it. There's no way to figure out who is actually owed it, because we're now a melting mishmash of a million different races. Like, most people have more than one thing in them. So all of that's ridiculous. But the basic thing of it is that you have to move on. You don't drag your past with you. And we helped build this country as black people. We helped build this country.
Absolutely.
And so our inheritance is the American dream.
It's in the freedom that the country that you have built provides. It's the same for everybody. See, I don't have...
It's the same.
Being white doesn't give me some extra money when I'm dead. I get, or when I'm old or dead, it gives me what I put into the system.
I also don't believe in systemic racism. I think that's a hoax. I think that's a complete joke. It's a way of never solving the problem. Oh, it's in the system. So we just have to tear down all systems, right? So... so the reason you don't get reparations is because you have systemic racism working for you. I don't believe any of that, because here's the bottom line. Nigerians are darker than any of us, and they are in the top 3 income earners of all immigrants. And they far supersede African Americans in their income earning. They come here, they focus, they get that education. They're very strict, Nigerians, and actually most Africans are like this. They are very strict on their families. And some of this I don't totally agree with, but pretty much you're Nigerian, you're a lawyer, you're a doctor, they don't want to hear it. They're like Asians. You are not coming in here talking about being no actor, no podcast.
Like Indians becoming doctors.
Like Indians, all Asians are kind of like that.
Yeah.
So... But they come here, they focus, you get that paper, you get that money. That's it. So all I'm saying is it's bullcrap on your skin color. All of these people are darker than us. It's retarded. It is another way of blaming other people for your problems. And it's just not how things work. It is not the way of the world. It's not how the systems are designed. So waiting around for some type of reparations or tanking the country into even more debt to pay for, would Meghan Markle get reparations? I don't want to hear about any of this. It's all bullcrap. How about Oprah? Does she get reparations? It's stupid. You can do what you need to do. You can make the money that you need to make. The opportunity is here. Stop waiting around for someone to save you. Like, save yourself. Seriously.
So how would you speak? Okay, now, clearly, whatever environment you came from How would you speak to that, though?
I came from Harvey, and you know Harvey.
Oh, I know Harvey. It's not a nice town.
It's not a nice town, and it hasn't been nice for a while. And so my story, and the reason why I get kind of worked up, is because, I was in this situation, right? I have been on public aid. I was living on my mom's couch for 3 years after my divorce. I was not getting child support. And I'm clever, so I know all the right things to say. But on the inside, I was doing the victim thing. And I was like, how am I going to get out of here? I didn't know how I was going to, bring my life up. And for me, the reason why I know that all of us have an opportunity is because I just faced it off with God. And I was like, look, God, I can't figure this out. I can't figure out how to make my life work the way that I feel with the gifts you gave me and everything like that. I can't figure out how to make it work. I'm like, but you made me, you help me. I mean, literally, it's the prayers that get answered are the ones when you're crying out from the depth of your soul. And it doesn't have to be this whole religious ceremony. But that was the prayer that worked. And I felt in my heart, start packing. And it wasn't within 5-6 months that I had moved to the beautiful place that I live in now, And so I know that we all have an opportunity, and there's plenty of wealth on this earth for everyone to go around. We don't need to blame other people. We don't need to tank a country's economy any more than it's already tanked, for someone to give a handout. The different public aid and things like that, they're there for a time. They're there to help you get back on your feet. It is not there for entire generations to be sucking off the titty of the government. So the thing that makes me angry is a lot of very successful Black people are lying to the people like me that were living on my mom's couch that didn't know a way to get out. And they want to sell them victimhood as their solution or something when that is not the solution.
Well, victimhood is something that it does. It transcends race.
Absolutely.
And people, I say this all the time. I had a friend who used to go to this coffee clutch all the time with her friends and her sister every morning, and everybody would get together, and they would talk about all the terrible things in their relationships. They would talk about how, Joey didn't pick up his underwear, or how, this, that, who could be cheating. Maybe he was doing this and he wasn't fishing, and this and that and the other thing. And, but when my friend would be asked about how, what she did, knowing that we had hung out or whatever, she didn't have anything to say. You follow me? Because she says, oh, no, it was great. It was great. We had a nice time. It was great. Everything was fun. See, she had a choice to build drama there, or she had a choice to not. And just go, it was great.
Yeah.
So this victimhood is kind of built in creating the drama individually, in my personal opinion.
Absolutely.
You got to, if you want to make things entertaining, the conversation entertaining, and you want to stay in it, it's kind of like gambling. I'm not a gambler, but I like to every once in a while go play some blackjack. I go by myself. Why? Because when if I'm up in 5 minutes, I want to leave. If it takes me 5 hours, I want to leave. Where you get screwed in gambling is going with friends and sitting around and waiting, because when you're up, you'll go back to the table and you'll give it all away. That is what the emotional shit is that goes on. Now listen, probably one of the most the most beautiful woman ever in my life. Come on, why don't you scooch in a little bit so you can be on camera? Just sat down here with us. And maybe you've heard of her. Maybe you've heard of her.
Am I on?
Welcome to our crazy conversation.
Thank you. I'm not on, am I?
Yeah, you're on.
Oh, great.
No, it would be great to bring you on the show and turn you off.
Nice to meet you finally. I've heard a lot about you.
I know.
Can you get your foot off this cord, please?
You guys did a great job with the Leopard Lounge.
Isn't the Leopard Lounge cool? And it's not done. You should see all the shit we got that's coming back here.
There's a lot of history down here.
There is.
Very good.
And there's a whole bunch of history that's not even up yet. All right, good talk, Di.
Good talk.
That was fantastic. Nice to see you.
Di's in the house.
Give me a kiss. Di is in the house from the Di Show. So anyway, what we're talking about is how would I say what we're talking about?
Well, I mean,
we're talking.
I was just talking about the problem with, what's going on with the black community and race is that all this victimhood, is being assigned to people of color. And they're grabbing onto it as a way to not take responsibility for their lives, but it's not the way to advance. It's just not the way to rise as a people, as a community, as anything. So we were just talking about how, it's obviously not just a black thing, like victimhood. Actually, I talked to someone last night. I had a very interesting conversation over text or whatever. And she was telling me how she's white. And someone who's kind of a friend was accusing her of being a racist. Actually, she was very highbrow. She said, "You are a negrophobe."
Wait, what is that?
Phobia
You're black.
of Negroes.
How do you be black and be a negrophobe?
No. She was saying to this white girl that she was a negrophobe.
Oh,
Yeah.
Boy, that's not
it's still
insulting.
terrible. It's still terrible. So anyway, she's going on and on about this story, okay? Then she tells me the story of how when she was out of town, she had to switch rooms because her roommate was so horrible, and she's going into detail about how she hid her stuff when she went to go get her stuff and da-da. And so I was like, I said, do weird stories like that happen to you all the time? Just like crazy things happen to you all the time? And so she was like, I do have my fair share of drama. I said, yeah, I was just checking in.
Yeah.
I said, because if you're open to feedback, I have people in my life that always have crazy things happening. And you know what? They talk about it a lot too. So I too have crazy things happen every so often. And if I'm able to not talk about it, I don't. And I don't have crazy things happen very often. Just something to think about.
Are you saying you don't invite it?
I don't invite it because what you focus on grows. And so I was saying that I grew up in a childhood where I felt that people were either colorblind or color appreciative. I prefer that term. It's not that we don't notice color. We appreciate it. We appreciate the differences in the colors and things like that in our cultures.
Like how much prettier my hair is than Di's? We appreciate that.
There's no cultural anything in that. Shut up. So the important
yeah,
part
stop
of my
using my hair coloring.
The important part is that when Obama got into office, then it was first black president, black, 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 black. And then it was, if you don't like him, you're racist. Well, I didn't like him, But then I became, once we really highly developed, I became a white supremacist. So that's, wrap your head around that. But anyway, that was we started focusing on race again when he got into office.
Yeah.
Right? And so what you focus on in your life grows. It's not about repressing things when they happen, but it's just about, I didn't really know this girl, and she's going into serious detail about the stories. You know what I mean? And I'm like, you know what I mean? Does this happen often to you? I do little tests with people, because I can pretty much tell. So she said, well, I should get better in how I talk about stuff. I was like, that would help you. I said, do you read the Bible? She says, oh, you'll never guess. My mother gave me my grandmother's Bible, and my sister came over the other day and took it. It's kind of happening again. I don't know if you've noticed. It's happening again. That's a wild way to say you don't read your Bible. Just say I don't read the Bible. I mean, my God. You had to bring your sister as the reason you don't read the Bible. It gets bad, and then we don't really see it.
Well, let me ask you this. So you bring up the Bible. Do you think for people to understand the stupid that's going on out there that you need to be, biblical to a sense? Or can we just say, all right, you have a right to be biblical. I'm not this, that, the other thing. But you, at some point, you just have to recognize the stupid.
No, absolutely. No, that really, it's just that I thought that from some other things that she might be a Christian. That's the only reason I asked her. And there's a scripture that talks about the things you're supposed to think about.
It doesn't make her less stupid.
Not at all.
I
and
know
if she
a
was
lot
a
of
Christian,
stupid Christians.
Oh, absolutely. No. I was just trying to find a point of commonality, and then she blamed her sister. I mean,
right.
it's just, I'm
so
like,
ridiculous.
We are not getting out of this. Like, she is a victim. We are not getting out of this today. You know what I mean?
So now, I think all of us at some point in our life, feel compelled to play the victim because the opportunity seeks itself. Sometimes we just don't always see the mistakes that we've made. What is the best thing to do? I mean, how do you look at yourself and go, I don't want to be the victim. I want to be the leader of my own life,
Okay, so you have to accept a very hard and offensive truth. And once you get over this,
Are you going to call me a nigger?
No.
All right. I'm kidding.
It's more offensive. No, I'm kidding. No, it's this. I'm not saying absolutely everything that happens to us is our fault, but definitely repeated things that happen to you.
Is a behavior.
You attracted that.
Right. You
are attracting that. And really, if you look at the state of your life and say, I attracted that. Like, I attracted. Now, how? Then you can start approaching life as school, and you can start learning things. Because age does not necessitate that people learn anything. I mean, there are some old, dumb people. So
there's a lot of really stupid people.
Of every age. But you have to be intentional to learn from the situations in your life.
You have to do things on purpose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you look at things that in your life that you don't like and take responsibility and say, now, how could I have caused that? That's how you start unraveling. If you can't figure it out, you got to get a life coach. I mean, it's super helpful.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that the term circle back? When you circle back,
circle back like Saki to the situations of your life. But you have to actually circle back. You can't say you're gonna just because you don't want to talk about it.
And we are leading up to the. We are leading up. Look at all these accidental teasers that went out to the last half hour of the show tonight, where we circle back and we talk about some fun things. So, here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to. We're kind of in this moment here, and this is such an important conversation because really I want to go back to the N-word and why it is, listen, nothing fucking pisses me off more than anything in the world than one group of people going, you listen to any rap song.
Right.
Nigger, hoe, bitch, piece. They just disparaging everybody in their own race and beyond. But if I say it, I can't say it. I can't tolerate that. I won't tolerate that. We're going to come right back here on the DAG Show. And hold on a second. Oh, boy. Here we go. Same damn thing. Same damn thing that happens on my show all the time. Always something.
When do I get to talk?
When we
I'm just kidding.
Isn't she annoying?
No.
She's a little bit annoying.
Putting me on that.
Hold on. Okay.
No, I'm a little bit country and you're a little bit rock and roll.
You don't even like country music.
But I love Donnie and Marie.
Okay. Anyway, as soon as this. Okay, I'm just trying to get.
I love
this
derailing him.
Jesus, you're derailing me, and I'm having look at.
What is that?
What is this? What the hell is happening right now?
Oh,
Felicity, I didn't plan for this.
But I think you may be attracting it because it does happen every show.
I know.
Isn't it true? What you put out, you get back tenfold.
All right, here it is. A little Seventh Heaven. It's a Beautiful Life, and we'll be right back. All right, we're back here on the DAG Show with Dr. Felicity Joy, as she is here every other Thursday with me. But you were at CPAC last.
I was.
The week before.
Yeah.
And hold on, let me shut this off. Oh, for the love of God. Okay, we're just gonna.
And you got to introduce Roger.
I do. I'm gonna.
Roger
Okay.
Connolly.
Why is this doing this, and why won't it let me do what I want to do? Let's just close that.
Hello.
All right. So, Roger Connolly from Roger Connolly and the Blues. Okay.
It's a
I'm
legend.
getting really
We're sitting
aggravated right
between
now.
A legend and a
And a what?
Legend in his own mind.
Hold on. Here, I got this corrected. Jesus Christ.
Bologna sandwich. Mom, make me a bologna sandwich.
All right, so we're sitting here with Dr. Felicity Joy, my one of my favorite people on earth, and accidentally my personal therapist, the love of my life, and Roger Connolly, who was the love of my life a long time ago.
Oh no!
Yes.
Seems broken
Did I
up
lose
about
that?
it.
I was
position?
hoping we were going to have a baby, Roger, but you couldn't get pregnant.
Well,
you were
you know.
fixed. Anyway, so we're talking about these important issues, and these are important issues. So I kind of want to get back to this because this is important to me. So I before we go to the next topic, and you know what the next topic is, I don't want to. I think it's all going to kind of transition itself perfectly, quite frankly, because I'm somewhat good at that. So how do we look at the black and white community? Because here's what I find completely ridiculous is that black people are willing, or white people are willing to completely be accepting of nigger, whore, this, that, the other thing, and then they seem to accept and then feel afraid to go, wait a minute, hold on. That's
Right.
kind of like telling me I can't say steak or chicken, or I'm no longer allowed to say fucking watermelon.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
you know, because again, watermelon kind of built on a stereotype, cheap food to grow, many, 150 years ago, and many black slaves farmed watermelons. Like I can't say cotton either. I mean, where does it end? Pepe Le Pew is no longer, they're getting rid of him. Disney's canceling their own fucking movies. Pepe Le Pew is offensive because of his unwanted sexual advances to a rabbit. Are you kidding me? I mean, this is where we've gone. Green eggs and ham is now full. It's terrible. It's a bad decision.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any fucking sense to me. But we will still release albums all the time, which I am 100% for, because the freedom of expression, the freedom and the right to say what you want to say, I 100% believe in, as I know you do. So if you want to run around and say nigger and whore and call and be disparaging to women in every goddamn song you write, that's fine. But here's where I got a fucking problem. You don't tell me I can't say nigger.
Right.
It's fucking the vowels and consonants together. I'm saying nigger.
There you go. That's how you solve it.
Fuck it.
That's how you solve it. You do not let retards make your rules.
Well, see, white
Period.
people use the term nigger the same way.
Well, that was a term that would offend a lot of my friends that have
What?
I know.
children of
whenever
disability.
Yes. So I want to clarify that my oldest son, or no, he's 20. My 20-year-old son was diagnosed with autism when he was 3. So again, I just don't let people tell me what to do. I am sorry if that offends you.
Well, see, I
but
use the
I don't
word-
think my son is retarded. He just, he has
struggles.
a diagnosis of autism. Like, that's
Well, I
what he
think
is.
even with
Actually, retard is not a diagnosis like it used to
Right.
be.
And
but
saying,
we have more
saying that the
specific terms.
N-word is, if you look up the definition, is not a depiction of race.
Right.
So,
Right. It's
color.
ignorant.
It's actually color. I mean, there's
No, actually,
Niggardly is like to say ignorant. If you're niggardly, you're ignorant.
yeah.
You're stupid.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
So it's never it's not lifting up. It's not to uplift. And what some black people think, which I don't even like the term black, but whatever. Right now, it's where we're at. So, but some black people think that by claiming it for us or whatever, like we empower it. We took the term back. You're not taking anything back. If you don't uplift the community, you have not taken anything back. So I just, when you get beyond letting people tell you what to do, especially stupid people, I'm sorry. If you don't have a good reason for these things, I am not doing your thing. Well, I'm offended. Well, that's fine. Go pray. Get a therapist. It's not my issue. I sleep well at night.
Why can't people just focus in on what their talents are and kind of inspire others with what they know?
I want to move that.
The thing is,
when Roger showed up and I had just met him for the first time, you never want to walk in and have a judgment call about anybody. I don't. Mm-hmm. I meet people based on the actual interaction that they bring to me. Mm-hmm. Not that the stories that I've heard from DAG. Mm-hmm. To formulate my own opinion. This is I'm just crazy about you.
Well, he was his first love, so I mean, it all works.
No, just getting to know him and hear his stories and his,
Well, yeah, I mean, it's you have to judge people on their merits. As a blues musician, I have a lot of black friends, and we have no issues. I've never had issues. They don't have issues. I actually think that it goes a lot deeper, or you should go back in history, and I believe that this is actually divisive. I think that this is being orchestrated. Nothing.
Oh, it clearly.
I don't want to diminish some of the horrible treatment that blacks have gotten from police over the years, because certainly there is some of that, but I think that I think it's being used to further the division right now.
And it's always look over here. Don't look at the real problem.
Yeah. And again, the real problem, if you go back, slavery was just an abomination. It was horrible. But the fact is...
But hold on. Let me stop you there. Slavery was a way of life for centuries.
It was, yeah.
It was. Well, listen, white people, brown people have been enslaved since the beginning of time. I am not, under any circumstances, justifying whipping a black person 250 years ago to pick my cotton. That is not at all what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that the development of history, the development of nations and societies has these really terrible things rooted in how they got there, because you had to be. It's kind of like when I was in acquisitions, we were sharks. We bought, and people accused us of stealing companies. Now, I'm not trying to compare that to whipping a black person, but the idea is really identical. It's like, I'm looking for power, I'm looking for wealth, I'm doing this, I will do whatever I have to do to obtain it for the betterment of the society in which I live. And it did. It created jobs, it did all kinds of things, and people hated me for it. They fucking hated me for it. But I created fucking jobs. Period. Fuck you. You were looking for a fucking job, and I made 10 of them. So I'm pretty goddamn proud about being a prick. You can say whatever you want about me. Now, maybe the family who agree. I never bought a fucking company in my life that wasn't for sale. Never. But when they saw that what they couldn't create for 40 years, we were able to do in 2, that's their fucking problem, not mine. So, when you step it back, this is how societies are built. And capitalism is one way to feed society and give people opportunities and to uplift people. Listen, when people talk about people making $2 an hour and say fucking some weird place in Indonesia, those motherfuckers were making 50 fucking cents a day as opposed to 2 cents a day. That is, do that fucking math. Do that math from 50 cents a day to $2 a day. Just because they're making Nike shoes or T-shirts or whatever the case may be, you increased their wealth their personal wealth from 50 cents a day to $2 a day. Now, you might not be able to relate to it in the United States of America because we're a bunch of very successful people. The poorest people in America will never, ever, 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 ever be able to understand or be as poor as the poorest country. Nobody in this country is as poor as other poor countries. Nobody.
Yeah, when you read...
Wow, I got fired up. You see how fired up I
Hold on,
got?
let me hear it.
Check my heart.
Okay.
Is it pumping still?
I'm not that kind of doctor. Keep it together.
Di is. Di and I play doctor all the time.
So when you read autobiographies, you see what makes success. And you
Roger
see
should have his own
people-
mic.
Yes.
Well, go get another mic.
That's okay. Well, we can share.
No, I'll get another mic here.
Here, go ahead. I'm sorry, Doc.
That's okay.
I don't wanna-
When you see people that raise themselves up from absolute nothing, you see people from abusive homes, you see people from poor countries, you see all kinds of things. And what is that success factor that allows people to get from nothing, to success, meaning that they are happy with their lives? They weren't happy and now they are happy. What is that? People want that to be luck. People want that to be, and now this crazy narrative of, well, there was so much support and there was so much of this and that. When you got Meghan Markle whining on Oprah, obviously, the support issue is not the issue, right? I mean, she has plenty of money to go to get a therapist or blah, blah, blah. So here's the thing. It's the belief in yourself and your future. You begin to have a vision that things can be better, and you are willing to do something to move toward it. But no matter how much your dad told you were a piece of crap, and every teacher told you you'll never read, or whatever, your country was nothing, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I talk to people... I teach English as a second language. I talk to people from around the world, and they see themselves in America. I know they're going to get here. They see a better future for themselves, no matter what kind of crap hole they live in and everything they see around them, but they see something better for themselves, and they won't be talked out of it. That's what creates a success. So I don't believe any of this other crap. I'm not going to believe any of these reasons that people have built for why they can't do it. You know what I mean? Like, my son, I just said, has autism, 20 years old, and he has this dream of being a costume character at Disney. Well, we met someone who used to play Ariel or something at Disney, and she talked to my son. She said, you have a better resume than most people already that apply for this, because every job my son has had has been a costume character. Wow. His first job was Tony the Tiger. Then he was Chuck E. Cheese.
Do you know how much I love Frosted Flakes?
Wow.
Great.
It's like,
Great.
Hey, Roger, try talking into the mic.
Okay.
There we go. We got
Just
Roger.
like that?
Yeah, we
There you
got
go.
him.
We got him.
Everybody
Yeah.
has their mic.
No.
Anyway, do you see what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. He has autism, and he is going to live at Disney and be Tigger. It is what is going to happen.
Wow.
Because he will not take no for an answer.
That's a pretty cool job.
And another thing, too, is I didn't know you could live. There is a Disney campus where workers can live there. I didn't even know that, but he kept saying it. And I'm thinking, I would hate for him to be disappointed. Like, that probably isn't a thing.
You
Then we find
Cinderella
out it's
lives
a
up
thing.
in that castle. You know that, right?
Well, I would live in that castle. Shoot.
The
But
mouse
we
wouldn't
actually
like
found
that.
out that that's a thing. So I'm just saying, like, you can have a vision for your life and just not anybody tell you that you can't do it, and you're gonna get there.
But you have to be strong
the
with
key.
obstacles that come up along the way.
Absolutely.
You know, we all grow up wanting to be that model or superstar or whatever, right? The dancer. And if things come up that derail you and you're not strong enough or educated enough or, have good foundation from your parents or anything, it's hard.
No,
inner
it's
city
not an
kids
easy
or
thing.
or anyone of any color, if you've grown up with less than someone else,
But
you
know-
have
you
to
know what,
have not just the vision, but you have to have the strength to get around those obstacles that keep you from your dream.
The commitment
Right?
to the vision. You do have to have. Go
you
ahead.
know what? I think that that all of that is true, and I think that's all personal responsibility.
It is.
But I think what's happening now is that we have this mindset, and when I say we, I mean the government in place right now in this country, to level the playing field so that everybody. I mean, it's basically socialism, I believe. Veiled socialism.
It is.
And it's
hardly being veiled anymore.
Yeah, it's hardly being veiled. But the fact is most of the people now, they're trying to erase history.
Yeah.
As we were talking about earlier, as Dag said.
How do you learn from that if you
the
erase
young
it?
kids think
The young
socialism
kids
is social media?
Well, all they see is that
It sounds good to me. Is that Facebook?
$1,400. Oh boy,
Yeah.
that's great. Biden's in and getting $1,400. But what they're trying to do is level the playing field. That's never going to happen. And now they're trying to do it worldwide. And at least
it's kind of like saying that your hair is equal. It's forcing your hair to be equally as pretty as mine, and that it's fucking ridiculous.
It's a futile
That's a judgment
exercise that is only going to backfire on us, and it's going to put the people that are in power are going to get more power, and eventually they're going to give us a little bit more money. I think what's his name? One of the congressmen is talking about $2,000 a week. Holy cow.
Well, but
you
those
got to be kidding me. We don't need. Who needs?
It's not
$8,000 a month. Stimulus.
I'll take $8,000 a month, but I don't want it.
But
I don't
not
want
in
it
exchange for what they're going to want.
Well,
in
yeah,
right.
exchange.
I don't want it at 10% interest on the backs of my neighbors.
And as soon as they withdraw it, then it's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, even it's crazy that we're not banding together and going, you got to stop this. This is wrong.
It's always playing God. It's always playing God. Because here's what I just explained to you. The playing field is already level.
Yeah.
That's why you can come from another country and do so well.
They're trying to make everybody
focus.
at the same. Make everybody make $15 an hour. You do that. What a lot of people don't realize is the end game is not to just make all the people that are making less than $15 make $15 an hour. It's to bring the people that are making the big money down.
Yes.
And make it now.
And put all the mom
now
and
we're
pop
talking
stores
about a
out.
playing level field. We're going to be waiting in line for frickin' cheese.
Yes. Absolutely. That's absolutely.
Yeah.
God, I'm so
except there'll be a cachet of people.
What's your favorite cheese, Roger Connolly?
Let's see.
What kind
Gouda.
of cheese do
Gouda?
blues
I like
artists eat?
Gouda.
It's Gouda.
Gouda?
I like.
It's very good.
Brie?
I don't really like. Brie,
No?
but you had some.
I
Feta?
love
You have to
feta.
talk into your
Feta.
mic, Roger. You can't
Feta.
talk to die off mic
know,
It's
while
always
we're live.
better with some feta.
You know, it's funny because I used to tell everybody, look, you get this far away from a Shure SM58, and you just lost 70 to 75% of your volume.
Yeah, well,
But I
that's
didn't
true,
wanna-
but that's a
I didn't wanna eat the mic.
Sennheiser.
I didn't want to be that, presumptuous.
But you're doing a great job at it now. Can you shut up and let me get back to my fucking show? I mean, I'm glad you're here, but shut the fuck up for a minute. I'm trying to talk to my.
Are we doing a beer run?
This is now the Roger
beer run,
Connolly
no.
show.
All right, so well, talk about a distraction.
Don't let me make the dogs come in here.
Don't let those dogs in this studio. All right, so again, I'm going back to this thing. So what is your message to the black community? That is, and I keep bringing this up, but we don't seem to get to answering the question. Do you feel that using the term nigger in a song is okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so do I. Do you feel that using the term nigger and telling me I can't is okay?
No.
Okay.
As I don't believe in telling people what they can and can't say.
How do you feel that why does the black community feel that they own that fucking a set of vowels and consonants? Oh shit. I might be
Are
dying.
you done with your water?
I don't know. Was that God must be black. He must be pissed.
No, I think that it's a distraction from what will actually help us as a community.
But do you think
this is like a false way? I have said this several times. You just don't like my answer. They think it's a way to empower them. You used it as negative, but now I'm taking it from you. The white people who used to call me nigger, I'm taking it, and now we're calling ourselves. No, in the past, white people called black people nigger, and it was derogatory. So what they're saying is, I'm taking it from you, and now only our community can say it, and that's power. Well, no, it's not power, and clearly it's not power because it's not helping this community at all. Like, we've gone from 13%, and now we're 12 because we keep killing ourselves. And you might not even get here because we do more abortions than anyone else.
Yes, you do.
So,
not you personally.
Exactly.
Roger does.
Yes,
Roger's a professional
we are the
abortionist.
most in the jail cell, and we are the most abortions. It's amazing at 12.5% of the population, and declining.
That's fucking disturbing when you throw those numbers out there. Those are, and I know those numbers, but you just said them like in a row, and it's very disturbing.
You would think there's a target on our back. Now, that sounds victim, but what I'm saying is, I think that black people, when they claim their power, have a lot of influence. We have the ability to influence music. We can influence a whole genre. You know what I mean? Like, we influence dance, everything sort of entertainment-wise, everything that's in your face. Like, black people tend to have a lot of influence.
Because all you coloreds have good rhythm.
We have good rhythm. We talk good.
Look at both their faces.
And white man
Felicity
can't jump.
knows
and
I'm
white men can't jump. So
I can twerk. I don't care what you say. Yeah, I can twerk.
She can't twerk.
Now, I can't twerk. So see,
she can't twerk.
That
I was
would
twerking
be,
last night.
That wasn't twerking. That was a whole. That's not what we call that.
You're amazing. I love you. Today, you can't twerk.
Well, but we weren't twerking. We were laying in a king-size bed. We were doing something else. It was not twerking.
All right, I already understood that. My goodness.
Oh, did I? I did not. Well, she was aggravating me with the comment.
It's kind of like rap. It's being forced down your throat.
Whatever.
So,
quit treating me like a nigger.
I think this is how we combat it. You don't let people tell you what to do.
Yeah.
That's a really important
Do not put
thing.
baby in the corner.
Ever.
Do you really watch movies and listen to music and kind of, see what the depiction really is in a lot of it? Or do we take things as face value and just play with it? No, there's a lot of things out there that you can learn from if you really.
Well, you know what's really funny to me, in my day, and you guys all know what I do in my day job, and 99%
porn star.
Exactly. I'm a porn star in the black porn community.
Yeah.
The
Indonesian
black community, Nigerian, and I do some Somalia stuff, but I only do that to Donnie and Marie. So if the music track isn't good, it depends on what country I'm in, is what music I choose. It's what motivates me. And the food.
All right, get on with it.
All right. And, how big are their cars?
He doesn't even remember. That's the problem.
Right. No, but 99% of the people I deal with on a daily basis are minorities. And when I say minorities, black and Hispanic. And 99% of them are just amazing people, kind. Nobody, at least nobody seems to be an asshole, and I do get this young faction I deal with who but it's actually, what's kind of funny is it doesn't actually matter what color they are when you're dealing with the young people. They don't communicate well. They don't talk. They don't say hello. They're not respectful. They don't not, how was your day? Now, I get some of them, and that's when I'm always like, you're a cool kid.
Because you see the indoctrination in the schools has worked really well. So after a certain age group, like that's all they've had. You know what I mean? All they've had is that pumped into them, prepare
Well,
for
it's hard to
socialism.
manipulate
prepare
a
for-
mind that's already kind of preset as we get older.
Exactly.
I mean,
Right.
who better to inflict it on is someone that you can mold.
Exactly.
And that's how it's happened.
See, look at my dad.
You know, I
Look
think
at
I
her.
think we need
Look at her
to
coming into her own right
I
here
think
on
we
the
need to
DAG show again.
discriminate on the basis of merit and nothing else.
You racist.
and
there-
life does.
There are people.
Do you know what merit means?
There are
It's
white
okay,
people.
Dag.
There are black people. There are Mexicans. There are Chinese and Japanese people.
Wait,
that
where?
I discriminate against.
Not in my
because
town.
Because of their personality, because of their merit, it has nothing to do with their race. I mean,
Well, of course not.
and that's what we need to do. Is we need to be able to allow ourselves as a society to do that, and not say I can't not like you or say anything bad about you because you're black or because you're Mexican or because you're white.
Well, see, we
I
weren't
want
doing
to
that.
discriminate against you because you're an asshole.
Right. We weren't doing that. We weren't
know?
doing that 10 years ago. It was just like, if you're an asshole, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
All of a sudden now, just when I go, well, you're kind of a jerk, they're like, oh, you're fucking racist. You don't like rice, you hate Asians. You don't like corn tortillas, you must be a racist and hate Mexicans. No, I just, quite frankly, don't want you all
See,
jumping over the
here's
fucking
the
border.
thing. Here's the thing for me of why just none of that bothers me. It didn't bother me to be called a white supremacist. I actually found it a compliment because Candace Owens was called that. So I was
Right.
like, I have ascended into the ranks now of, you guys being completely ridiculous and then putting that on me. But like, here's the thing. You know that story I told about that lady last night texting me.
Right.
So she says to me, so she's a conservative. So when I told her she sounded like a victim, I might as well have told her, that she sucks Biden's dick or something, because that's very offensive to call a conservative a victim. Right.
Right.
So she was highly offended, right? That I told her she sounded like that. And so she said, there is a difference between sounding like a victim and being free to say what I want. And I said, all right. And then I said, you know what? I'm glad you're doing so well. And she said, thank you. Why did I do that? Because
you wanted to end the conversation.
Because I've already achieved my goals, which is, number one, I presented an opportunity where I could possibly help her. But number two, regardless, you think she's texting me again? I win. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, that ain't happening again.
Right.
And so that's the win for me, regardless of what happens. But my philosophy underneath that, and this is why I brought it up, is the reason why I do not care to really have an opinion or care too much about what other people think. I don't want people having an opinion about what I do. Just, I'm going to do what I want to do. I do not want people telling me what to do. So I don't tell other people what to do.
So you're the boss of you. So if you succeed or fail, you take full responsibility for both.
That's what the
So
red,
wait
white,
a
and
minute.
blue
If
means.
you're really successful, that's because you chose to be.
That's not
But-
luck, not nothing.
If you fail, that's on you.
It's a rough truth.
Are you sure you're black?
Oh, dag.
Look at how I push the buttons of the black community. I love it.
I know.
Listen, here, at the end of the day, if you're going to talk to me about this, and you know how much shit I take. I mean, I take a lot of shit from people, and I don't care. And some of it's done as fodder and fun, and some of it I'm serious about. When it comes to this, I'm really fucking sick and tired of all white. I'm more sick and tired of white people talking about black people and the plight of black people than I am of black people talking about the plight of black people. Because, quite frankly, if you go to the inner city, and you see people shooting up kids and friends and family, you know, at some point you're just a fucking asshole. But when I listen to white people start talking about black people who live in Naperville, Illinois, in a $400,000 house, it's like, shut the fuck up. You're an idiot. You wouldn't understand what it's like to live in Robbins or in Harvey. You have no clue.
Then you know what? Why do we only hear?
You're still here?
I'm
You've been
here.
so quiet.
Why do we only
You're
hear
so
when,
pretty.
let's just say, some of any color is shot in Naperville? It is talked about for days and days, and let's talk about daily how many people are shot in the inner city or anywhere in the city, right? And
Exactly.
I mean, it would go on and on and on. They make such a I'm not diminishing a murder. I'm saying they, it's just, what's the word I'm looking for, honey?
We need a little bit more of the sentence.
that's
but
the
we were
media.
just saying that, like, they don't even cover it anymore because it's so common in
right,
the city.
Right.
It's not even a big deal anymore.
That's the
to
problem. It's not a big deal because it's such an occurrence. Let's talk about it. That's what
Yes.
we're doing. We're here talking,
We
and that's the problem. Oh, it's a big deal that someone was shot in Naperville. I mean, really?
Right.
That just doesn't make sense to me.
I have black friends on my page who really just will not get off this nonsense, the whole cops killing black people thing. I'm like, dude, I've sent you all the data. Why are you still arguing this with me? I mean, when 19 unarmed black people are shot by police, it's terrible. It's terrible.
But that's in 1 year's time.
That's in 1 year's time. Now, I agree with black people when they say the population of white people is much bigger because the number of white people shot by police is much larger. Mm-hmm. So, but it's not relatively larger comparisonly percentage-wise, okay? Because there's so many more white people. But why don't white people commit the same amount of crimes is my next question. I go, why is a black community and the Hispanic community, and actually the Hispanic community is way below the black community, you know, and there's more now of the Hispanic community than the black community. So that really skews it all. But apparently, sorry, black people, you guys don't know how to work calculators, a lot of you in the inner city. And when you look at it, you go, wow, it's still so diffused, and so the numbers are so fucked up that such a portion of the population has these really terrible problems. And it breaks my heart to see this happen in these communities, and then nobody take responsibility for it.
Because then it will not change
And
if you
then-
don't take responsibility.
And then in Chicago, you get Lori Lightfoot as a fucking mayor, who's and Kim Fox, who's both of them. Lori Lightfoot, you're a piece of shit. Kim
Yes.
Fox, you are the biggest scumbag attorney general in the history of fucking law. Both you and Lori Lightfoot should jump off a bridge. That's how horrible you people are. You're terrible at your job. You're no good. You're no good for the people. You're no good for the black community.
Kamala Harris was pretty bad too.
Oh,
She
my God.
And Kim Fox.
Well, I'm just talking about Chicago. Kamala Harris is such a radical that Kamala Harris should be launched in one of those things that goes to Mars and let her create her own civilization up there where there's no air. Because then we're good. But Lori Lightfoot and Kim Fox here in Cook County are absolutely in my personal opinion, a disgrace to the black community, an absolute disgusting, flawed, vile disgrace to the black community. What has been allowed to go on as a carjacking victim, no prosecution because I couldn't prove I could see a gun. To allow people to change the felony laws and say, well, $350 was a felony of theft in a store, and then raise it
To
and say
1,000.
we're not to $1,000 and say,
gosh.
unless you had 10 prior convictions, we won't convict you.
Oh my gosh!
And
How do you get a conviction now?
You can't.
Now
well,
there's no bond either.
There's
Right.
no bond now anymore. So now you can walk in to Burberry on Michigan Avenue, rob the fucking place for
$999
and walk the fuck out, even though you're on camera.
Well, no, you're going to go to jail. You're going to get locked up, but you're going to get released there with no bond.
Two lineups in my carjacking. The boy has never gone to jail. Never gone to jail. No arrests made. He walked in my first lineup wearing my fucking jacket, and they'd let him go home. Fuck you, Lori Lightfoot and Kim Fox. Honestly, you should kill yourself. You are the biggest piece of shit.
The whole
in
system
history.
is broken.
It is. I'm so disgusted with Kim Fox because she's put everybody, not just white people on Michigan Avenue, at risk. I deal, I've told you, I've said this a million times. I deal primarily with the minority community 99% of the time. And when I'm doing that, I'm talking to business owners and people are going, fucking nobody's here looking after us. Lori Lightfoot's fucking us. Kim Fox is fucking us. These young kids come in and steal all our shit. And in their neighborhood.
Yep.
Can you imagine
and that's
that?
the problem. That's the problem we don't want to talk about. We don't want to look at.
Oh, I want to talk about it, sweetheart.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we're diverting to talk about police brutality. You're a racist, you're a racist, you're a racist, is so that we're not focusing and looking at how to solve the problem of black on black crime.
All right, listen, here's what we got to do. We got to play one more song, and I have to use the restroom, and then we're getting to the half hour where
when
we're
I leave,
going.
I have to leave.
Okay.
That's the point where I have to exit the building.
what? No, she's not.
I have an
leaving.
entourage outside with
You don't.
Me and Roger.
You're gonna have a shoe in your ass.
Me and
Hey,
Roger,
what
I got the
happened
limo.
here?
Well, I was trying to tell you.
Did you get the Dom? The Dom?
The Dom.
The Dom?
Wait.
The Dom?
What happened to our pictures?
Hey,
No, I
is
don't
that
know. It's
is
just
that
all
our
me.
old buddy? There?
Everything's all Felicity now.
Ralph? Yeah, he's my old buddy.
What?
There we go. All right, so now Dr. Felicity's on the other side. What happened to Roger? Oh, one of the cameras
Oh, boy.
went out. Yeah,
Everything is failing.
It's okay. I'm going for a beer.
that's right.
Meet
You
you,
go for a beer.
outside, Roger.
So
But I
now
want.
that it's my show.
It's always
I
your
roger
show,
that.
baby. It's always your show. And by the way, you absolutely look amazing. You are just so beautiful. And
Thank you. You're not the only one with beautiful hair.
well, okay.
My hair matches her. We should switch the little.
No, never. No, did you see that picture up there with
Yeah.
the two hearts?
Until you
No.
get pink hair.
I'm sorry, Felicity. You were wonderful, but I'm the dye, and those are. That,
Oh, now you're starting to understand my world. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play a little Ralph Covert. We're gonna play some Ralph Covert, and we'll come back here on the
bad
DAG.
examples, Ralph Govert.
Can I finish? We'll be right back. We will be right back here on the DAG. What camera am I looking in?
And two. Who used to do that?
That was Chuck Woolery.
yes.
We'll be back in 2 minutes and 2
To the
seconds.
Love Connection.
It's actually going to be like 4 minutes. We'll be right back on the DAG Show.
Then we were young and foolish. Now we're older, but we're still fools. Then we knew what absolute truth was. Now we wonder what we will never know. I just don't know. I'm out of my element. At a stock car race on a dirt oval in a small town in Michigan. Car hits the wall and starts turning over, bursts into flames as the people gasp and stare. Driving home with my heart numb with whiskey, oncoming headlights all dance and read. In my head is the same burning movie. I wonder what will become of me. And I believe I've been out of my element so long it feels like home. I dream at night of being so decadent. In truth, I just don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know. I'm out of my element. Called my ex-wife at home on the East Coast. Let it ring until I lost count. Left a suicide note on the counter. Got in my car and drove out of town. Sat by the jukebox at a beer and shot tavern. Drank with the waitress till 2:30. Took her home like a slow burning cigarette. Not what I wanted, but I didn't know what else to do. Back at home, I saw my note on the counter. Crumpled it up behind my own back. Grinding her ashtray lips on the sofa. I felt so good, I forgot that I felt bad. And I believe I've been out of my element so long it feels like home. I dream at night of being so decadent. In truth, I just don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know. I'm out of my element. Out of my element. Oh, out of my element. Out of my element. Oh, out of my element.
Hey guys, how are you? It's me, DAG, and I'm right back here, and we're getting ready to go to that segment of the show where DAG gets therapy from Felicity, and believe me, Felicity needs therapy. No, it's me who needs therapy. Anyway, and we're here with Di. We got to get a couple things hooked back up. We're going to play another song by 1096. We love you all for being here. Thank you, Heather. Thank you for sharing this time. Who's amazing? Felicity, of course she's amazing. We know she's amazing. She's amazing and she's beautiful. And by the way, I notice your hair is coming in. And we'll talk about this in a second. But yeah, I'm liking it. The bigger it gets, the cooler it is. That's what Di says about me. All right, we'll be right back here on the DAG Show. Little 1096, make a difference.
All the many talents feel the rule of silence. I can't burn a picture down. In my depression, lonely, yeah, I'm loving only one. I can't burn a picture down. No. Something in my mind says, something in my mind says, somebody tell me that I made a difference. Something in my mind says, something in my mind says, somebody tell me. I turned away my talents. I'm breaking all the silence. I can't burn a picture down. My regression's only. I'm still loving only one. I can't burn a picture down. No. Something in my mind says, something in my mind says, somebody tell me that I made a difference. Something in my mind says, something in my mind says, somebody tell me, tell me. I wanna burn it all to the ground. No, I'll live silent. Something in my mind says, something in my mind says, somebody tell me that I made a difference. Something in my mind says, something in my mind says, somebody tell me that I made a difference. Something in my mind says, something in my mind says, somebody tell me. Oh, something in my mind says, something in my mind says, somebody tell me that I made a difference.
Oh, we are back on the DAG Show with the wonderful, beautiful, remarkable Dr. Felicity Joy.
Thank
One
you.
of my favorite people ever, and I love you, by the way.
I love you, by the way.
You've
And I
had
love Di.
I'm Di from the Di Show.
Nobody's ever heard of that show. Anyway,
I love you too.
so
Thank you.
we're now at the segment of the show, and what's great about doing a show with you, we do this every 2 weeks, is you bring some really remarkable opinions and ideas here. I think a lot of clarity, to people, and give them, some comfort in thinking what they want, regardless of their race or their, color, creed,
Hope.
whatever.
Does she bring hope?
Hope is a good word. Thank you for thinking of that word. I didn't know you knew how to spell it.
Hoppity, hoppity, hopity. What?
Hoppity hopity. But I thank you for doing this with me, and I know I do this all the time, but I really appreciate you being here and being a part of my life and the DAG show. We all appreciate Heather, myself, Diana. This is what's exciting about what we do. We have an opportunity to have a voice and to do good things, and that means a lot to me. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. It's a wonderful opportunity. It's a unique opportunity.
Well,
as you are a unique person.
Is she on the bridesmaid list now too?
Oh yeah.
Ooh, yay.
Oh, she's coming. She's coming to the wedding. By the way, which we just sprung on her.
No more big reveals, please.
You just sprung this on her.
Exciting.
Yeah. So we're doing
the leopard wedding.
Di and I are gonna go ahead and we're gonna do this. So now I've talked to you a lot about my situation with Di.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably one of the most important relationships I've ever had in my life, because, and again, we've discussed this, but so I don't want anybody who's seen the show with me and Dr. Felicity knows I've brought this up. So I don't want to sound like I'm beating a dead horse. I guess I'm kind of trying to just prep everybody for me to repeat myself. But one of the greatest things about Di is that she is unbelievably motivated in the sense of caring about whoever that partner is. Like
lovable,
her with,
kind, caring.
Okay, I'm going to turn
funny,
your mic off.
Enthusiastic, talented.
Okay, I just turned her mic off. Don't worry. We won't have to hear from her until I'm ready.
No.
So, I'm kidding, honey. I'll put it back on. Just shut up for a minute. So, your mic is actually on.
He knows.
So
stupid.
You're stupid. You smell like bacon.
Mold?
No. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Mold and old rhyme. Anyway, so Di's always been very comforting and caring, and she's always been very, very attentive to me, the same way she is with her sons, I mean, it's just like her whole world.
Hold on a second.
Okay. Her whole world, I've turned her mic off. Her whole world is about making sure that the people she cares about are taken care of. Okay. And it was a struggle for me to deal with that because I've never had that in my life. I've never had a woman who unconditionally loved me and wanted to please me and I'm not trying to just talk. I'm not talking about sexually. I'm just saying be wonderful in all these really crucial areas. So this was a struggle, and I've spoken with you on camera and off camera about this. So it's a big deal. So here we are. Everybody, our fans and followers know what went on. So I don't know that I want to push those buttons. Now you can come on, Mike. Go ahead, pick your mic up.
I don't want to now.
I know, right?
I don't want to now. But here we are. Di reached out to me, which I knew she would. I predicted it at 4 months.
Well, and every day I got a message. You wouldn't leave me alone.
You didn't get a message every day. You're so full of bullshit.
Please.
That was never the messages. That is an absolute blatant lie.
Therapy, come back to me.
That is.
You know I'm not a liar.
You're lying now. But because of you, I took a lot of time to reflect. You and I talked a lot about it, and you made me feel good about, being critical of myself and kind of digging deep and thinking about, what's stupid about the things I do or the things I might think that I'm doing right that I know are completely, that turn out to be completely ridiculous.
And also being open to receiving love, right? Like on my show on Simply Felicity, we actually went back to, okay, where did you not learn unconditional love? What happened with your parents? That kind of thing. Like all of that stuff is really helpful to unpack if you've never thought about it. And if the repercussions are now if they're having an issue in your life now, let's go back and see. Because parents are where we're supposed to learn unconditional love. A lot of people don't get that.
Or having a puppy.
A whole lot of people. No,
It's good to be raised with and to learn from animals.
So that is, I mean,
is.
especially if you have a dog when you're younger like that and they give you that unconditional. You gotta learn the unconditional thing when you're young. That's the thing. Otherwise, it is going to have some impact on you later. So when we went back and unpacked that and you saw that, no, it's not the way the world works that you're not supposed to receive love. That's not the way it works. You were supposed to learn unconditional love there. So then you can start putting it together. That's why I'm responding this way. And this is why I don't want to respond that way anymore. Yes, it happened to me, but it doesn't have to be the rest of my story forever, because that's called victim mode, which we just, spat and yelled and cursed about for the first hour.
And the cycle.
Actually, it was the first hour and a half.
It was long.
So, first of all, you're like the most fun person I've ever been around. You're so annoying, and it's fun. And our sex life is off the fucking chain. I mean,
that wasn't a problem before.
No, it wasn't. Actually,
what's love got to do with that?
What's love got to do? Okay. Anyway, that was by Sheena Easton, right? No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I was trying to trip you up. But no, seriously. I mean, the best times that I've ever had really hanging out with. Don't fake it. God, she's so annoying.
So she said
that the best times I've ever had, and hanging out just with somebody that you dig, and you're in love with, has been you. I mean, it really has. I mean, we've had some really, really amazing times, and I'm not just talking about sex. I mean, just spending time together, laughing and joking and yelling at the television about politics, and supporting Trump and hating Biden. Those
and
are
then the weakest, most vulnerable points too.
Mm-hmm.
We've shared.
We have. It's been hard, and I wasn't super good about. Although I've done it on my show, I did it on numerous occasions about things I struggled with, which is kind of funny that I would go out and be vulnerable on my show, but then when I'm in a relationship, I'm afraid to be vulnerable.
So this is
why does that happen?
Well, I don't know. I think back to when I would watch Oprah, when I would watch Dr. Phil, before Oprah got on the victim train, when she used to tell people not to be a victim.
Right, she's a victim
she was
now.
my first empowerment messages were from her. So anyway, total turncoat, I'm taking your job. So, I think back to those therapy on the air type things, and those are very powerful things. But I did want to let you know, I hadn't told you this, I don't think, but I actually had my own experience of some therapy on the air about a month and a half ago. And it was like shock therapy because I didn't know I was going to talk about that. So it was a situation where he's actually my coach now. This guy is my coach. He was on my both of my shows, Joaquin Flores.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing man. So he's been doing free coaching he has a new channel where he's been doing that, right? So I asked him this pretty innocuous question, but he's like, I have a new show. Why don't you come on my show and ask me? It wasn't personal. It was just about him, just something I was interested in. So I go on, but after I asked him that, something else came up and I asked him that, but he didn't respond to that. So anyway, I go on his show. I ask him the simple question. He answers it pretty quickly. And then he goes, so what else is on your mind? And I'm like, because the other thing I said was like really personal. And I'm like, I did not know we were going to talk about that. I didn't say that, but I was like looking at him and he's looking at me like, say it. I'm like, I hate you. So what's interesting about that is that it's now got me in this mode where I've gotten more open about talking about, and I don't think I've ever shared this with you, but I used to have a sex addiction. So,
Wait, and what's wrong with that?
What is that?
So I have only had one man in my life ever say that was a real thing. Like most men think there's no such thing as a sex addiction. Because you mean like me? Because I think about sex all the time? No, I don't mean like you because you think about sex all the time. I mean like, in college and stuff. Like,
am I your therapist right now?
No.
All right.
No. The point of what I'm telling you is I ended up talking to him about this on Instagram with like 150 people at the time that I don't know. Now it's up to 11,000 views, and I didn't even know I was going to be talking about this. So it was like shock therapy. And I think that's what happened to you. It was just like, oh, I didn't know I was going to be doing that. And then you're all vulnerable on camera, and it's just kind of crazy. And for a week, I was very angry. That I had about this Instagram thing.
Oh.
I was angry. I was actually angry at God because I was like, you hate me. Why did you let me do that? Like, that was crazy. I was not anticipating doing that. So anyway, I just think there's something to getting therapy on camera. I don't know if it works for everybody. I know it seems to work pretty well for people who are generally on camera because it just kind of snapped me out of some things, like things I couldn't quite figure out in my head. Just like
exactly,
it just snapped, like because I was so off guard and I was so like not ready, and so I got smacked, and I can imagine what shock therapy would be like, and I was just kind of in a daze for a while, and then I kind of came to, and I was like,
it's very different when you're the therapist versus the subject.
Yeah, it's horrible.
And when
I had more empathy for you after that. I was like, God, that was horrible. I can't believe he did that to me. That was like not good.
It's hard. It's very hard, and it's very risky to talk about your personal life publicly. But Di and I mean, I
got paid a lot to do this interview, just so you know.
Shut up.
But not the 7 million Meghan Markle got. So
no,
we have to humble ourselves.
When Di got into this business, as a part of what I was doing, it was a very big struggle in our relationship. It created a lot of problems because you get a lot of attention when you're as beautiful a woman as Di, and you don't know how to reconcile it and how to manage it. And no matter what I said, how do you, when you've never had that kind of, a daily, just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of posts, and people go, oh, you're beautiful, you're the most beautiful woman ever. I just want to.
That was just from one guy.
Right. I so get it.
Can you imagine what I went through?
I so get it.
It was so ridiculous, and we were talking about it yesterday, and she's like, that really got in the way of us. And I said, I tried telling you that for almost 2 years, and if you can't control that, it's gonna create a problem in our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You need to realize that, as much as we love all you fans, man, you're not gonna sleep with my girlfriend. It's just not gonna happen. So, and they're gonna see this, and they're gonna be irritated, but I don't care.
You're going to try harder next time.
Well, and that's funny that some of them do, I mean, the penis pictures, the dick, the masturbation videos. I mean, they come in at all hours of the day and night.
Interestingly, so that was kind of the topic of this Instagram show. I mean, that's what I ended up talking about, was having trouble dealing with some of the attention, and it was triggering me. It was triggering some old issues and things like that.
Well, so it was not only that I had to deal with that. I had to deal with what he was bringing on to himself that I wasn't used to, that I had no clue he was
what
involved
the hell was that?
You know what I mean? Like who you were. I didn't know who you were when I met you. I didn't know what kind of lifestyle he had in the past, and then it starts.
No, I'm listening.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm listening. It's cool.
It's a lot to deal with your own perception of, and then what again, I'm saying the same
it was
thing, but
weird because
trying to understand him along with what's happening to me.
and my show's
Absolutely.
growing, and then she's getting recognized for being on my show when she goes to Jewel. So, that's exciting and terrifying at the same token. Now, I've been in the entertainment business for 41 years now, and I'm kind of like flippant to it. I'm like, women send me naked pictures. They send me videos. I just go, yeah, don't send those to me anymore. I block and delete them, and I just don't care. I don't think about it. I don't tell her. I don't do anything. Well, when she would find out that happened, she's like, what the fuck is going on? Why wouldn't you tell me? I'm like, listen, man, this is just a product of the environment. I don't care, but it upset her.
Because social media has created,
nightmare.
where we're like these mini stars. We're not like,
Right.
those upper echelons are where they used to only deal with it, but now we're dealing with it at kind of lower levels, but we are dealing with it.
You're
And
dealing
it's a
with it,
similar,
yeah.
because some of these people are seriously attached or detached
Oh, my
from
God.
reality, so you get some serious nuts. It's a real deal.
It's a very, very bizarre thing. I couldn't imagine being a woman and having even this tiny bit of celebrity that we all have, because it's hard for me. It's not hard for me because I don't care, but it happens and it's annoying, sometimes.
What's really, really, really the worst thing is when it affects a relationship with someone that you love, and that's just compounds it all.
Let's talk about love. So
love got to do it.
Our relationship was really, it's always been hot and heavy, and there has been no question that.
In the beginning, it was just
it's still pretty
nothing
hot
else
and heavy.
existed, but
Right.
you and I.
But it really, up until the end, really not much. Even though the way it went down, in my mind, it was still you and I. And, I was really frustrated and disappointed that we were going down this path that I didn't want to happen. But I think I'd like to talk about, I would like to know, let's do it publicly, what you love so much about me. Because what happened the last 4 months is a big story. It's a big story. It's spreading around the music industry right now here in Chicago, and everybody's talking about it who's anybody and knows and follows me or follows you. And, go ahead.
What I really
say something fucking nice about me publicly.
About your hair?
Say it about my hair.
I'm getting the dog shaver tonight.
No.
While you're sleeping, I'm buzzing it right
Jesus.
off the top of your head.
God, it's hot. Will I be wearing pants? No, really. What is it
that I
that
love
brought,
about
well,
you?
What do you think that draws us together?
Bartender, I need a few more drinks.
No, what do you think brings us together? Probably saying what you love about me sounds arrogant.
Wait a minute.
But
I think that there's two forces that brought people together.
is this a Star Wars reference? I'm going to fucking kill
All right,
myself.
if you're going to make light of this, I'm
leaving.
not.
I'm not. I'm sorry, honey. Go ahead.
Oh, I just think that, I really am a firm believer about energy pulling two forces together. First of all, it's a connection. And I've always been attracted to character type people. Not the hottest guy did nothing for me. I had to know what the hottest guy had inside his heart to begin with and what he can offer. And I don't mean it any other way, but on a feeling and emotional level. Money and all that, that's not the most important thing to me. So I guess when I met him, my first inclination was the energy that came into the room was just...
Why don't you tell the story how we met?
Overwhelming. I can't describe it other than it pulled me in.
Tell the story how we met.
I was working at...
Do you want to hear this?
I do, but I like the track that she was on
he
as
derailed
well.
me, didn't he?
So
I mean,
are you telling me to shut up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, she's trying to learn a little bit, I think, and you
Right.
just,
And because the thing
Okay.
is, we
Well,
attract who we are. We attract what we are.
Well,
And
I'm
that's
I'm kind of going to describe our situation on how we met by telling this little bit of story of what I'm attracted to and what I love so much about him. And so the position that I was in working for an office kind of position where meeting someone within a few moments of them entering is the most important thing, to give them that feeling, that sense of welcoming. And that's kind of how I am. I wear my heart on my sleeve. If anybody knows me, they know that. And I go, I'll give you my last dollar before I'll suffer for it. So, but anyway, he came in and, didn't have the attention, and, no one greeted him. And I took the opportunity because that's what I did. But my personality is also very giving. And so, but again, I just seen him and I was just drawn to him. I didn't know anything, who he was, or a lot of people are like, oh, you knew him, and I didn't know him. I didn't know what he did. I don't even think he revealed any of the truth of who he was or his past for a few weeks after we started dating. So my first initial thing that I was attracted to, again, is the energy that I feel from someone. And if I'm a Cancer by my sign, so I'm very, tough on the exterior, soft inside. So if I feel right away that, you rub me the wrong way, I'm very standoffish. And he wasn't. He was very charming and sweet, and it just went from there. And I wanted to get to know this man because of that, not anything else. I didn't care what kind of car he drive, but I went out and I seen he had a decent car, and I was like, check off the box, check it off. Then he was like,
he had a decent car.
No, it's all so much mirroring. It really is. You know what I mean? And that's the impression you get off. You give off, I met you for the first time, and you have very big energy, right? So, you all are really a good mirror of each other, as well as have the ability to help each other grow in the areas in which you are weak.
So he is a very strong personality individual. I think I am, but in different senses.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's more of a, he likes to educate and bring forth all of his intelligence. And we all must know that. And I like to bring the caring side out of things in a fun way. Mm-hmm. So we kind of mesh. In that I bring him down and he brings me, I should say we level each other out.
She brings me down, I bring her up. Awesome.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of
totally.
even it out.
Sort
which
of.
is good. It's the yin and yang,
Absolutely.
But when you have two strong, powerful personalities like that, after a while you start to go, oh, what I said is more important than what you said, or this and that. And I think the separation gave us both time to really understand that. And,
absolutely.
And how important it is to really, how much you miss that the yang is gone from the yin, know? And, set it free. And if it comes back, it was worth it,
Absolutely.
Kind of thing.
And it's yours. It's something
it better
that
be,
there's
or I'll kill him.
It's an honest...
Or I'll kill him.
It's an honest connection. It's not a forced.
It's a genuine
thing.
Genuine. Yeah, we didn't, it wasn't forced. It wasn't a double date, or you felt,
obligation.
Obligated. Or anything like that. It was,
I think the ways that you guys help each other is that DAG is better with boundaries than you are. You talked about giving your last dollar and things like that. So if boundaries sometimes are difficult for you, that's something that he has, attempted to help you with, and that's something that you can continue to help, right? And then, he needs to work on continuously opening up and staying open, not shutting down whenever you hit one of those points that's triggering.
I'm the shutdown guy. Listen, let me tell you something. In that very first year we were together, my birthday came and I just went and sat in a room and I said, leave me alone.
Right.
It's an uncomfortable time for me, and I didn't know how to explain it to her, and she left me alone. But I can't, thinking back on that, I can't imagine how that probably hurt you.
Yeah, because of being a giver, it was
She
selfish for
wanted
you to do that.
Yeah, it was.
And honestly, as a giver, I don't want to do it.
You want to give what he wants.
I'm not doing it.
No, I got it.
You know, some people give to get that sensation of with
I did this big thing.
And you
look at me
doing that made me feel great. I honestly do it genuinely to see the response that I get from someone, and that they're so that happiness I feel.
Absolutely.
I want to tell you something. What's amazing about this woman, and
other than my hair.
Other than your hair is never going to be as beautiful as mine, but you wear yours better than me, so we got that. But so let me tell you something. So I grew up in I had my mother and my grandmother and my great grandmother. I just remember them all so beautifully, but there was no emotion from females in my relationships. It was just none. I mean, my grandmother was the most important. Grandma Lorraine, who that guitar is named after, it's the most important. But that is my most prized possession, is that fucking guitar. Okay, it's named after my grandmother. It was the one thing I always wanted, and the one thing I always needed was my grandma. But my grandmother, I was 38 years old, and talking to her, and my grandpa was sick, and I always said, when we would talk on the phone, I said, Grandma, I love you, and she would go, okay. And finally, I just approached her and said, why won't you just say I love you back? Well, it's just not what we do in this family. I go, no shit. Like, I don't fucking know this, right? But after that, she always did. Always did. Not just to me, but to all the other grandkids.
It's nice.
The point I'm getting at here is I always longed for this idea that a woman, would kind of revere me or just appreciate me. Mm-hmm. Well, this woman here, it's not like it's one thing I have to remember. It happens all the time with her. Is, okay, you've been working on the pool filter. Yeah, I know it's been messy. Come here. She drags me to the sink and she washes my hands. She fucking bathes me. Mm. I mean, I've never had a woman ever in my life who ever gave me so much attention when it comes to, just at the end of the day, come here, let's cuddle, and making those things a priority. And it really freaked me out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we talked about it on the last show.
Yeah.
It really freaked me out, because as bad as I wanted it, I had no skills in coping with it.
Right.
None. So the nicer and kinder and sweeter and most wonderful she was to me, that fulfilled every dream I had in my head about a woman. Once I got it, I'm like, yeah, I'm not living in a Disney film. I am a man. I'm going to go change a tire even if it doesn't need it. You will not show me love.
Yeah.
And it was really hard for me to cope with. I mean, it was, but I couldn't. It was like I was like, oh my God, I fucking got this, and now I don't know what to do with it.
There's a like kind of a continuum of fear and fantasy. They exist on the same line, so you can have a dream, but it turns kind of into a nightmare or your greatest fear as well, right? So that's like a kind of traditional psychological.
Do you know what it's like
exists.
to have a woman grab your hands and go, come here, let me wash them for you. Let me wash your hands for you. I mean, it's like
they were dirty.
It's like the most, it's on the level of incredible emotional sex. It literally is on that level. It's like it just takes you to a different fucking place of and I would assume anybody would go, is this real? What the fuck is going on?
Well, when you begin to have those dreams met, I mean, it definitely is. I think like one's ability.
It was terrifying.
One's ability to receive that is based on their paradigm that life is good, that good things are going to happen to me. You know, like I had a foundational belief that God is good, that life is good. And so I had, you know, Johnny and I have had so many moments like that with each other where it's like, if I would have known to ask for that, I would have, you know what I mean? But like, I didn't know that existed. Like I thought that was a fantasy in my head. Like how would anybody know to do that? That's so like, were you handcrafted for me? What were you doing before I met you? It seems like nothing.
Holy shit, you were handcrafted for me.
There you go.
And here's what's funny about that, you know, because now in dealing in working with you and having this time away and to kind of reflect and adjust to this, I mean, I was a fucking wreck for these 4 months. It was terrible. I mean, I deal with shit well because I'm, you know, I have this rock persona, but I have been with nobody since I've been with Di. I've had no interest in anybody since I've been with Di. All I ever thought about was fucking Di, and all I did was keep myself
annoy
busy
me about it.
Right, annoy you about it, and just stay busy, you know. And then there was no chance for me to do something stupid but in my mind I knew she was coming back because. As much as she loved me, I loved her, and there's like this fucking smell in the air, you know, where you're like connected.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to really sit down and think about it and go, you know, I'm 55 years old. What a lucky dick I am, you know, to have this, and. But you have to really beat yourself up. Not beat yourself up. Maybe that's the wrong terminology. But you have to be really honest with yourself to go, you know what? I'm just going to let all this shit go. And this is funny because we've been talking about it. I'm like, so today she said to me, she goes, oh, okay. So now she's asking me questions about this and that. I go, no, just whatever you want. Just whatever you want. Because I'm at this point where it's like,
let's hang on. I what I'm not expecting is for you to completely give up who you are.
No, I'm not going to do that.
A question and you're
hello,
like,
can you see the video here? Look at how you can't give that up. You'd be destroying America.
Whatever you like, you know. Remember that movie with Harlem? What was it with Eddie Murphy?
Oh, Harlem Nights.
The Harlem Nights, yeah. And they brought the princess to him, and she was like, "Whatever you like."
Oh, right,
He didn't want that,
right?
You know, he wanted to find love because that's lasting. You know, anybody can go around and give you exactly what you expect to win that over.
Yeah,
so I don't want when I ask you a question for you to go whatever you like, whatever makes you happy. Well, I'm asking you, and that's the part of what I want to know, is that's my happiness. Be assertive and be a man and tell me yes or no. And
but
that's
see,
what I want.
the things we were talking about when you said
Still
that to me
learn.
today, the things we were talking about today, you know, we were talking about, we're down here in the Leopard Lounge. I mean, we really worked hard to put this together, and we have so much shit that's coming back here. I mean, this place is so cool when it's really dressed. It's only literally halfway dressed up right now. But I'm at this point where I'm so thankful and grateful that you made the call to me and that we got back here, that, you know, if it makes you happy, I just want to do it.
And I understand that. I respect that you're willing to, you know, bend.
So I can.
Adjust
there are times that things don't
compromise.
matter.
Well, no,
great,
listen.
you know?
I'm not. Listen, if she says I want to buy a fucking Ferrari tomorrow, I'm gonna go no.
No, whatever you like is what I want.
right.
The answer is fucking no. We're not.
You're
you know.
smart, man. You know when to say yes or no.
But you know, on things that you know, I
not relevant.
She has,
things or, you know.
She has kids. You know, a 14 and 15-year-old. The decisions we make here around the house have to revolve around the best interests of them first, in the sense of the family. And then we have to make sure the bills are paid, which actually is number one. Then everybody can be happy. And then Di and I can work on our things. But, the things we were talking about.
I think differently about that one.
We were talking about.
I do too. I put the marriage.
I think that's
exactly
the foundation.
It does have
in
to
a
come
woman's
before.
opinion or my opinion.
Yeah. It has to come before.
I think that's completely.
Oh no! Like I say this. I just told you this. Like an oxygen mask dropping out of an airplane in a plane crash, where you're going to die anyway. Put it on your face first, then put it on the kid. Then you can all die together, peacefully somehow. That's
Great
what
analogy, honey.
No. I'm being silly, but. Yeah, I get that. We have to be happy in order to
solid.
Be really good.
You need to be solid in a relationship.
We need to be solidly happy. I want my word in there. And
amazing is mine.
But, it's kind of different this time here, because the conversations we've never had before. And we were together for almost 2 years before things went fucking wacko. And now we're talking like we should have talked then, but the timing was weird. There was a lot of shit going on, So, but the little things, yeah, I don't want to sweat the small stuff, it's just not worth it. It
takes up too much energy too. And
and if you just want it, and why can't you just go? Fuck. Because I asked her today. I have, that thing right there is worth like $1 gazillion. And I bought it. I seek this shit out, and it's really an important piece of furniture to me because it separates me from my other life, and it was something new that I bought for myself, when I was moving on, and I said, hey, can we move it upstairs back to where it was? And she goes, no, I want to leave it down here. And I go, well, why? And she says, well, I see this vision of it here in the studio. And I went, okay. Because what am I going to argue about moving a fucking piece of if this is going to put a fucking smile on the woman I love's face, fuck it. Put it where you put that motherfucker mounted to the ceiling. Yeah. Because I don't want to fucking fight about it.
Right.
Not anymore. Now, when I was, when you start to take possessions like that and make them as important as the people you love, now you're just fucking everything up. You're just it just gets ridiculous.
Well, I want to share this with you guys as like. There's a few things about relationships that I think are important, but this one keeps coming to my mind that I want to share with you all. So, one of the best ways to choose who you marry is base it on their worst qualities. That is like so brilliant because everybody thinks about all these ways we're compatible. You don't need to think about that. You wouldn't even be thinking about a long-term thing if you weren't compatible, get along, it's fun.
I can't wait to respond to this.
But if you think about the worst qualities and if you can handle that, you're good. Because marriages break up over the worst qualities, not over the best. So if you can handle the worst, and there are seasons of life where the worst may last longer than you're wanting it to last, but if you can handle that, then it's a good gauge. It's a good gauge, and it's the way that people don't really plan. They're thinking about, in a bad marriage, you're thinking, well, that could change. I could get him to change that, or she'll probably grow out of that. Don't be thinking like that. Think they're probably
or having a baby will bring us closer.
All that crap.
That's a divorce right there.
Yeah. Just think like, what if that never changes? Are you good? Because it might, and it might not. So if you're good, if that never changes, you really are good. You know what I mean? Because it gives that person freedom.
Here's it. The worst qualities Diana has. Can I say them?
I don't know if we
as long
need.
As I thought we were going to end on
a happy.
Yeah,
note.
no.
Game on.
No. You can go ahead and you can go ahead and criticize.
I will
me.
defend myself.
He sends them.
No.
Speaks about his worst qualities better than you. I bet.
No, he wants to talk about my worst qualities.
I know.
That's what she just said. Try
no.
listening to
No,
Dr. Felicity.
Dad, that's not what I was saying.
No,
I was
I'm
just
ki-
saying I don't think you can outdo him when he talks bad about himself. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Here's what the stupid things that aggravated me are so stupid when I look back at them right now. So if I were to identify Diana's worst qualities, what annoys me the most about Diana is
She doesn't dust.
She doesn't dust. 1. 2, she only uses towels one time and then has to wash them. Number 3 is that she washes shit, folds it, puts it. The washing machine dryer never available. But she'll fold things and go like almost to the end of the step and get them folded, put them on the dryer and leave them there, or bring them into our bedroom and not distribute them. And she also, the last thing is she gets excited about doing things and then only, finishes half the project. Like, there are literally like 1,900 bags of
That's
dog.
not true. If it's not inspiring to me at a certain
Well,
point,
dog
I
shit's
walk
not
away.
inspiring to anybody, but we still
When I
have
set out
5
to paint
bags
this,
in the yard.
this room that we are in, this beautiful room, I followed through and painted it.
Because I was here pushing. Sorry, sweetheart. Yes, I wasn't going to let this
For
end.
you, my darling.
That's good. So that's obviously
painted the
something you can deal
But
with.
see,
whole
I don't. My point is they're not like terrible things. It's
Right.
not like she hangs out with her
Well,
girlfriends
look
all
at all
the time.
this. Could there be anything terrible? Look at all this.
Such a
Drink
mirror.
it in. No, I mean it's not like she goes and hangs out with her girlfriends, or she's at the bar. Or
No,
she's
you will
got
not
to
find me hanging out at the bars.
do it the coffee clutch every morning, and she's never here. It's none of that. It's the stupid shit. Fucking wash the clothes and put them away. And then
When you stop pulling the hairs out of your beard.
yeah, I know that drives her nuts. I do that. I sit here and out. Because I
I've
can
seen
see them
you.
out of the corner of my eye. I've done it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen you.
And it's like, oh, that one's long.
I have this flashback. We were talking about PTSDs earlier, and I went to high school, and there was this boy that actually would sit and pull his eyebrows out,
Oh yeah.
and I couldn't focus on
Yeah.
I think I failed that class. This boy was just.
What was it? Eyebrow class? I mean, what was the fucking name of the class?
school.
Makeup?
Oh wow.
But anyway,
What a
okay.
bad
So-
place to be doing that.
So go ahead. So you only have 3 really.
I really-
aggravating-
and
No,
they're
he's
all
not allowed anymore.
No.
If
They're
she's
not
gonna
s-
get to
they're all stupid.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
it's
mean
your
that's
turn.
to my point.
Yeah, it's
Easy
your
stuff
turn.
for you.
You
besides-
mentioned the beard thing.
Oh, I
Besides-
have to say 3.
No, just as many, whatever.
Oh,
no.
girl, we can
Because-
go
Don't
on all
too
night.
long.
I actually
Your
put a
top
limit on
one
myself.
Or two. Top one or two.
Oh, now or before? What I mean, where are we at in life?
Now, I would say now.
Now?
Because
You
there's
have to-
probably
you
a
have to-
lot of dumb things before, but maybe they seem dumb now.
I'm not a.
I'm going to set the mic.
It's really kind of annoying to a certain point when he does the whole. Well, look at this. It's like.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm just
You said you
joking
were
I know,
with that.
I
I
know
say
he's-
drink it in.
Wait a minute. Put the mic down. See that he cannot do either. He cannot just refrain. Stupid. You know what I mean, right?
I do.
I mean, we're in a serious conversation.
So be honest.
Turn off his mic.
Button your shirt.
It's a serious conversation, and I like to be a little bit silly, over the top at times. But when it's really serious, and if you're reading someone and you get it when they're really serious, and he's like, well, "Look at all of this." How could you say, "Look at this"? I mean, really, that's what I
I
get.
say that because I know it's
Shoot! Oh, sorry, baby. No one cares to hear you right now. I'm on number 3. Shut up. So that's really like a pet peeve, I guess. Is not really something
Yeah.
that truly annoys me. But let's see. Let's see what else. I mean, he's really. He's really
You
kind of
guys are in
now.
such love zone. It's hard to think of these things. So
Notice
he
she's
hasn't
struggling.
been shutting down. He hasn't been
notice
shutting
she's-
down recently.
Yeah.
then.
Let's expand on what you just said there. I mean, the holding back. You know, we're in our 20s, I guess, when we see a boy cry, or even earlier, you're kind of like, oh, you're a baby. You know, as you get older, I longed for that.
To make boys cry?
Yeah. No, it's very cool
What the
to have an
fuck?
emotional.
It's beautiful
a man that's
when a
in
man
touch.
holds the door and holds your hand and pours a drink and
Oh, I do
and
that.
This is number 4. Okay. Yeah. No, I said he doesn't know how to refrain. No, and that you see that vulnerable side of a man that has such a bigger than life persona, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I yearn for that. At this age that I'm in the state of everything that I'm going through, that I can see a man, you know, I don't want to bawl and like, you know, get a grip, but I want to see some emotion, you know, and if he sheds a tear, I'm not going to judge. To me, that shows me that he has opened up.
Yeah.
He's real at that point, and he's letting me in, right? He's exposing his underbelly kind of thing. And he's learned to do that in this 4-year separation. I'm glad we're back together.
It's been 4 months.
I was gonna say, wait.
Seems like a lifetime.
And to make the point, he is literally exposing his belly. I told you to button your shirt.
Oh, baby. What? How many whoppers have you had while we've been away? 2 for 10.
Wow.
All right, we did good.
Yeah,
that was
I
good.
feel so great right now. I can't even tell you.
But it's a good thing, because at the moment you know that you're going to face hard times again. I mean, you know, we're not Alice in Wonderland, but to know in advance that you've considered each other's difficult qualities and that you can deal with them, then you don't have to freak out when hard things happen, when you're having a hard time, anything like that. You're like, you know what? I've already thought through this. I know I can handle her like this. I know that she can, and mostly she can handle me like this. Because the thing is,
Mostly
we
can she
start-
handle me like
we
this?
start
Because
beating
look at all of
ourselves.
this.
We start beating ourselves up, though. We start beating ourselves up
Yeah.
when we're having a hard time, and be like, no, they can handle it. They can handle it. Just deal now with yourself and your hard time, so that this doesn't take any longer than it needs
Or
to.
escalate into something bigger.
Exactly. But you don't need to both, you know, be having a hard time and then make yourself feel bad because you know they don't like that.
Well, that's the problem, is that, you know, listen, every time you get really mad about things that aren't going well, is that the question really personally is, are you failing them or are you failing you? So, you know, what I don't want to do is fail die. I don't. And I know I have in ways, and she's failed me in ways. And but there is a very important connection that we have, and a very, very real love we have for one another, regardless of what we went through. And it, excuse me.
Also because of what you went through.
Because of what we went through.
Strong. Yep.
But, you know, I'm also at a point in my life where it's like, I just don't want the battle. You know, I'm willing to make, and I've always said this, and, you know, the compromises, you know, and how it drives you to respect in a relationship. But that doesn't necessarily mean that at those times that I came up with those ideas, excuse me, that I was enacting them perfectly. What I want to be right now for Diana is perfect. I want to be perfect for this woman in every way I can. I know it's ridiculous to a certain degree, but that's really kind of between us. So,
and you know, it's not really a bad thing to strive for, because unfortunately people get so into their humanity that they stop trying. Well, I'm only human. Yeah. And you can try harder too, because we have actually a lot of power over ourselves. We have a lot, and we have a lot of resource that we can use to get better. We don't need to get frustrated with ourselves. We don't need to go crazy, but we can have an expectation to get better. And so even these little things that you all have said, it's not bad to consider. It's good to be yourself, but it's also good to be considerate, right, of the other person. And, you know, there's already where you have this big personality, you have a lot of words in you, a lot of capacity to use words and stuff. And so sometimes it can make Di feel a little drowned out. So it's
That's
okay
actually
to give,
very true.
It's okay to give her more space. You are still yourself, right? But in order to be a little more giving to her, give her space, right? Let her talk. You don't have to be so quick with your responses all the time. These are just little things.
A huge thing that I love is that he lets me be me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I mean, what people see, it's not our true personal connection.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what people see is that he's controlling me,
Mm-hmm.
and it's show.
Mm-hmm.
It's entertainment, and it's important to him. And I've learned to understand just how important it is, and the personal side of him, which I do not like revealing those kind of things, because to me that's sacred.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that no one else should know. To me that's how I feel. You know what I mean? But he is very dress how you want, and whatever makes you happy is really important. And he's never said you can't go here, and I don't want you doing this or that or looking a certain way. And that to me, but by being somewhat caring in the sense of saying, you know, that might not be a great place for you to be. I don't want you to go because I care that much, or you know what I mean? But he's always let me be me. And that's what's cool, because I'm a hard little jackal to keep contained. But that really is cool to me.
It's awesome.
You know?
Yeah. Yep.
I never, you're a beautiful woman, and, and you're a sexual and sensual woman. I wouldn't want to restrict you from that, because that'd fuck up my sex life. Number one. Number two, I'm quite frankly, I'm privileged. You're beautiful. Why show it? If you want to show it your way, you show it your way. I'm not that guy who is.
And doesn't it show? Don't you feel like it shows a lot of strength for them to do that, and a lot of confidence? And so this is something our relationships have in common.
But at the same time, strength and confidence, he's also feeling the bounce back of the attention that's drawn into.
That's true. That's true. But it doesn't.
Which is cool, because at the end of the day, I know that he's home with me.
That still takes a lot of strength and confidence, right?
Yes.
To be able to deal with that.
And
as
I don't have any
opposed to-
inhibitions, because when I go out and I want to be, what's the matter, babe?
No.
Is it Roger?
No, I thought he
creeping
fell
up?
off the stool.
Like I remember when we went out and we went to go see Seventh Heaven, and we were having a great time with some of his really, really close friends. And I love to dance. And he said, I said, you want to dance? He's like, yeah, no, and I'm going to just sit here and I'm going to watch you.
Mm-hmm.
And, go ahead and dance with whoever you want. I never had anyone say that. My past has always been filled with men that are saying, are you kidding me?
Right.
Who, you don't dance with another guy. You're with me. Kept me on a short string kind of thing. And even if he was feeling that, I could lose her. Somebody else could come along and attract, give her that feeling. He was confident enough to go and dance. But
that's what guys don't realize is if they would do that, they'll never lose you.
Well,
you know what I mean? Within reason.
Not never, but he had to be the right kind of
reason.
relationship to feel that.
Within reason, but it's the confidence of, yeah, go ahead.
Right.
Be yourself. Like, if I don't feel like
yourself.
dancing,
Enjoy yourself.
I'm telling you,
Right.
like, our relationships are so similar in that. Like, I love that about Johnny, that he lets me. how do you, I used to wear wigs. It would be long. It would be short. It would be like, I'm like, do you, I've never asked you. I asked him the other day, actually, after our show. I was like, when Dad was asking me about my hair, I was like, I just kind of do what I want. Do you have a preference? He's like, my preference
Whatever
is
makes you happy,
what you
in a
like.
sense. Right.
Because
right.
when you like it, you're all fabulous. And then I really like it. And it's just like so cool because you can see that person is all about you. You know what I mean? And
when you
what
ask
makes
them, you kind of want to know, well, I kind of like the longer opposed to the shorter. But at the end of the day, whatever's really going to...
Yeah, and like he literally had nothing. Because when I do it a certain way, it's because I feel like it. And so then I feel really good. And so that's what he likes.
Yeah.
It's not really the hair. He likes it when I'm super happy.
But he wanted to see, I remember this night, that he did that. And I didn't question it. I was like, okay. So I went and did my, remember that night? Do you remember? And I danced around and he was watching. Even though he wanted
Johnny's done that. He'll
said,
watch me dance.
Hang here with the guys, and kind of spend. He was actually watching me feel so good about myself.
Yep. Well, it's a big deal. Yeah. It's huge.
Listen, this is a very confident woman, and she has, like the rest of us. I mean, we all have things that we struggle with to try and get through our fucking day, especially when we feel that we have a bigger purpose, I guess. So how do you get there? But Diana is... seriously, you're really one of the most remarkable women I've ever met. We talked about this in the car today. She has these. She's always brilliant, but when her brilliance really comes out, it's completely unexpected. And then all of a sudden, there's this really regimented person. Like she had to talk to the school today, and completely different from the show and everything. It's like, God, this woman is really remarkable.
I'm quite articulate when I want to be.
Yes, you can be articulate when you want to be.
But for me, noticing that Johnny was letting me be myself and stuff when I hadn't had that to that level, in other relationships, I'm like, why don't you see that restricting me is the worst thing you can do? Is like the last thing that's going to keep...
Don't you remember when you were little, my mom would say, I don't like that boy, you're not hanging out with him, you're not going to... Oh,
that's
yes,
the boy
I
you
am.
wanted to
I'm
hang
leaving
out.
right now. Because
I didn't even like him that much till you said all that.
Think about it.
It's like, it's just the worst way to treat a woman that's like really independent, a lot of personality or very unique. It's the worst strategy in the world. Like, it is the quickest way to tank this relationship, right? And so to have somebody that intuitively knows that, I don't have to tell him that. Like, he can just see.
From a man's perspective, if I tell Diana, go dance with whoever you want, there's only two ways this is going to go. She's either going to fuck up or come home with me. Mm-hmm. So I got to have that confidence. And being confident, especially in what I do, is something I'm just not willing to compromise. So if Diana, would have done something stupid in that situation, I would have been like, see you fucking later, adios. There'll be 100 fucking more over the next.
It was a test.
Yeah.
But our relationship was good, and I just wasn't into dancing. So if you want to go dance. I mean, I'm not insecure. I am not an insecure person, and I'm not a jealous person. At all. I mean, like, if it was on a scale from 1 to 100, I'm like 99% not. That doesn't mean you can't make me jealous or make me feel bad.
Hurt and jealousy are two different things.
Yeah, they really
I mean, like,
are.
You can't hold someone back in
and
life.
I'm always going to be prettier than
you're
anybody
gonna be hurt.
else.
Really, jealousy is a very, very bad attribute. Or is it an attribute or an emotion, or how would you categorize that?
I guess it would be an emotion, but it turns you into this. It's a very controlling. The attribute is control,
right?
And that's where it's like, it's bad.
Yeah. See, I don't. Here's what I don't want to do is I don't want to control the woman I'm with.
Right.
I want the woman that I'm with to love me be loyal to me. Loyalty
by
is
choice.
everything.
Respect.
And have respect
Yeah.
and all those things. And then, okay, we're out. Go have some fun. So you're dancing with Johnny Jamal, who thinks you're sexy. Well, you're gonna come
How did you
back.
know I
over
danced
here.
with him?
Well, he put it up on Facebook. No, but it's just important to me that I have that trust and because you're not going to be able to take what I feel about you away from me. Because even if you fucked up, I'm still going to feel good about you. I might be pissed, but I'm still going to love you, at least for a period of time if you went out and did something stupid. But, it is what it is. This
All right, you
is,
got to figure out a way to wrap it up.
yeah, well, let's wrap it up. Well, listen, let's wrap it up with this. Felicity, I love you. I'm so glad you're here today. But Diana,
too.
this is the first show we've done together in 6 months, actually.
Oh, wow. Really?
And
I'm part of the debut.
and
Dag and Die.
Dag and
The
Die.
re-premiere.
The re-premiere. And I just want to tell you, I'm actually kind of glad. I'm really glad we went through this difficult time because I think it gives us an opportunity to really reflect and
Strengthens things.
Strengthens things. Yeah. And since we first got together, no woman could have ever taken my heart. I love you more than anything in the whole fucking world, man. And whatever it takes to get us to where we're going here, and
do it together.
we're gonna
I
do
love
it
you too.
together. And we have plans, and we'll tell you guys more about them here really soon. But sweetheart, I love you.
I love you too.
No, then fucking kiss me. Don't be a bitch.
Don't boss me around.
I'm gonna boss you around.
You better ask me
No,
nicely.
just bite his lip and it'll
Oh, I
all
will
be
No,
later.
no,
You have
no.
no idea.
My lips are chapped because of all the. You smell like garlic. You smell like garlic and bad decisions. No. Anyway, listen, we're really happy to always be here with Felicity, and there are big things happening. Remember, tomorrow night, Dag and Heather, well, Dag, I'm third person now. Heather and I and Di's going through some training with Heather tomorrow at the Piazza with Miles Nielsen, Rick Nielsen's son from Cheap Trick. And then Saturday, we will be there for Lazarus, the Tool tribute band. And yeah, Dag, Heather, and Di got all kinds of shit going on. New photo shoots coming with Di and I. New photo shoots coming up at the track with Brian and Dag and Heather and Diana and Josh and everybody. We got a lot of cool things going on. We got the Infinity Show next week at Bourbon Street. And Di will be at all these shows. So those of you who...
Come on out and say hi and meet us.
Come and meet us. It's going to be great. I'm sure Brantwood Bill will be at everything this weekend.
And Dr. Felicity Joy will be with Black Conservative Female next Tuesday night, 7 p.m.
And when are you going to come out to some concerts with us?
Well, when you play music I listen to.
What
I
do you
don't know.
listen to?
Like the song I recommended to you. Well, actually, I kind of like both of these songs tonight.
Actually, you need to come out and
just
do a
need to
little
come
rock
out.
and roll. I did
Come
the
on,
whole...
Roger. Come say goodbye.
Roger, get over
Come
here.
here.
And,
I like
yeah.
blues.
Well, hold on. We're not blowing up the Tuesday thing until freaking this
yeah,
weekend.
yeah.
Roger Connolly from the Rooster, Chicago blues artist.
Get in here. You're not in. Come here. There you go.
Yeah, get in the camera. Chicago blues, great actually.
Well,
one of
thank you,
my
sir.
one of my heroes and favorite songwriters out of Chicago is here, and you're actually staying here with us at the
I
house.
am. Thank you so much
For a
guys,
couple
the
of days.
hospitality.
We're jamming and we're learning some music.
So you're
for
performing Tuesday night too?
Yes.
Well, he's it.
We're gonna
He's
do
the guy.
We're gonna do a whole deal Tuesday night.
Rock
in,
the
Villa
shop.
Park. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, don't say any more about it.
Oh, I shouldn't, should I?
No,
Oh,
because
I'm
there's
sorry.
this whole fucking mess that goes along with it. This is a big, supposed to be a surprise.
Surprise.
But anyway, a lot of great times, and thank you, Felicity.
It's my pleasure.
I love
Great meeting you both.
So 2 weeks.
Great meeting you.
2 weeks. We
back
do
in the Leopard Lounge. Maybe it will be fully.
Oh, we're waiting
Back-
to see how it's gonna get stupid. It's gonna once all the other stuff gets back here and Di gets on her little mission, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be absolutely amazing. So we're looking forward to it. Roger. Thank you for joining us on the
thank
show
you.
tonight.
Thank you.
And Diana, thank you for being the most wonderful thing that's ever happened in my life,
Welcome.
and pissed me off more than anything, and made it more amazing coming
Learn
back
from
to it.
mistakes and let's move forward.
Just shut up and let me say nice things. I'm just trying to say some nice things. Don't tell me what to learn from.
I'll tell you what to do.
I'll smash this
Love
microphone
it.
over your head. I swear to God, I'll kill
I'm
you.
listening to you guys while you were doing the interview, and I'm jealous. You
Of
guys,
what?
well, because being on the outside looking in, you guys got it,
Yeah.
don't they?
Yeah,
They
Di's
do.
lucky.
It
Di's
makes
very
me
lucky.
wish my Johnny could be here. He would be here and be like, yeah, huh.
Yeah, well, you need to
Uh-huh.
bring him. I think
Oh,
Donnie.
it's just he doesn't.
He
He
needs to
wouldn't
co-
talk like that. Like it's some of us are talkers and some aren't. He's like
He's just not that
good
guy.
behind the scenes
Couples
guy
never talk like this, and that's a problem.
because we don't provide a good example,
You guys bared it all.
We bear it all.
and they get to be a good
Yeah, and I
example
mean,
for
you
others.
know,
Yeah,
good and bad, and that's what that's the bonding.
it's awesome.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty
it's
amazing.
really good.
I'm
Really good
a
business
very
you
lucky
guys.
man that, I'm very, very grateful that you reached out and were here today. I love you so much. So let's kick it. I'm sick of saying that on camera. We'll talk to you later.
Thank
Be
you.
good. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. Gotta always have the outro.
Playing their mind
Yeah,
music.
where's Roger Connolly?
Hey,
I don't have it.
Oh,
it's not
oh,
queued
yeah,
up.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
in 2
I'm doing
weeks,
a whole-
I want to
You coulda
hear
just
some of
played
his
something.
music.
I'm doing a whole show with you. For the love of fucking God.
Okay. All right.
Hold on, I got to
you're
do the
forgiven.
outro. Hold on, everything's going so slow today.
When is your show with him? When is you
I
guys'
can't-
show together?
It's going to be Tuesday.
Tuesday.
I mean, I meant this show, like on Facebook too.
We're live right now, honey.
When is your show? You said I'm doing a whole show with you.
Tuesday,
Oh,
live,
it's gonna
live.
be the same thing.
Oh
Okay.
no, it's live, full band,
Music
sound
and
coming.
stuff like that.
Have
Okay.
you heard of music? Are you familiar
We're gonna
with
have,
blues?
I thought that you were
Dancing
doing a whole
Girls
show with
and,
him, like this
you know.
kind of show.
no, he doesn't have that much to talk about. It'd be a 12-minute show
He's a pretty smart guy.
With commercials.
with commercials. It's 12 minutes.
Is your outro loaded?
It's playing. Guys, we love you. Oh, where's the camera? I love you all. Be good to one another. We'll talk to you later. Thank you, Dr.
Bye.
Felicity Joy, for being here. Thank you, Roger. And Diana, you are the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life, and I love you.
Thanks, I love
Give
you
me a
too.
kiss.
Thanks, Felicity. Thank you,
All
Roger
right.
Connolly. I love you all.
All right, we'll see you guys soon.